Hi, welcome back to Gruber's Grubs. I'm Gabby, and today I'm going to be making pumpkin tarts. These are perfect for fall holidays. For this recipe, you're going to need a food processor and these tins. You can get them at basically any cooking supply store, and they're really great because once your tarts are done, all you have to do is press up, and the tart will come out, and it won't damage any of the crust. They're really handy.
These are the ingredients you'll need for the crust. Now let's get started.
Make sure to preheat your oven to 425 degrees. And when you're putting your tarts in the oven, make sure to put it on the middle rack.
First, dump the flour, salt, and sugar into the food processor and blend this together. Next, add the butter and pulse until this mixture is well combined. As a side note, make sure that before you add the butter that you cut it up into little cubes like I did. After this, you can start blending the mixture again, but while doing this, slowly add in the ice water. This time I needed to use about 3 tablespoons of water, but this is going to vary from 2 to 4 tablespoons each time you make this recipe. After adding all of the water, continue to blend the mixture until it starts to come together. Once it looks like the dough has started to come together, take the dough out of the food processor and place it on a flat surface. Before doing this, make sure that you've covered the surface you're going to use with flour to make sure that the dough doesn't stick to it. Now, roll the dough into a ball and cover it with plastic wrap. After this, you can put it in the refrigerator while you make the filling. These are the ingredients you'll need for the filling. Now let's get started. In a small bowl, mix together the sugar, salt, and spices. After combining all the dry ingredients, beat the eggs in a large mixing bowl. Now, add the pumpkin and the dry ingredients to the eggs, and then stir until it's smooth. Now you can add the condensed milk to this mixture. Continue to stir until it's smooth once again. After this, I took the dough out of the fridge and unwrapped it. Once again, make sure to put flour on whatever surface you use to roll out the dough on. Next, roll out the dough until it is flat and thin. Make sure to put flour on the rolling pin so the dough doesn't stick to that either. After rolling out your dough, Grease your tart tins with unsalted butter and set them on the dough. Cut a circle in the dough while leaving a 1-inch space around the tin. Now, pick up the circle of dough and place it inside the tin. Make sure not to rip it. Next, tuck the dough into the tin and around the edges of it. Make sure to not press too hard on the dough, otherwise it'll rip. Once you do this, you can mark the edges of the pie crust with a knife to make a nice pattern, but this is totally optional. After making one, repeat this process several times until there isn't enough dough left to make another tart or when you've reached your desired number of tarts. Here are 2 of the tarts I made. After making all of the crust, place the tarts onto a baking sheet and add in the pumpkin filling. After this, the tarts are ready to go in the oven. I think these took about 15 minutes to bake. When they're done, make sure to let them cool for a bit. Here's what one of my tarts looked like after it came out of the oven.
And if you don't have time to make your own whipped cream, canned whipped cream works just as fine.
Have fun baking, and thank you so much for watching.